Morning to everybody. This is, we're doing mountain escapes today. So, first we're just gonna do, most of you guys, some of you guys, half of you guys are warmed up, the other half is not warmed up. So we can do a little motion that we're gonna be using for doing the mountain escapes, you know. And first one is you just spread out a little bit. Just everybody, first guys, just bring it, shrimp and then bring it back in. Go to the other side, shrimp and bring it back in. Shrimp, bring it back in. Shrimp. Now next one here, take a foot over, take a foot, go here, take a foot, stepping over, and then bring him, going back to the other side. Hope you guys know this one too. Stepping over, bring it back here. Stepping over, bring it here. Okay, now next one here is same on my back, but instead of bringing this foot over, I'm going to bring this foot out. And now still want to bring this in. Okay, now here again, lift it up. Now bring my foot out, down this way. Okay, lift my foot out, this way. Lift this foot out, grab the floor, over here. Boom. Here, this is called swing. Okay. What's up, buddy? Okay, Chris, can I borrow you again? Okay, so we're doing mountain escapes. Of course, there's a lot of different ways you can escape, and there's always a counter to the counter. So, you know, you feel free to ask questions after, you know, during to me. Of course, when I do something, he's always going to do a counter, and then you're going to do a counter to the counter and keep going. But so it's nice to have a chain of different moves that works together, so you can chain them together instead of just having one escape. But chain them together, so you can keep, you know, you go for one escape, he kind of stops that, and you go to the next one. And it's always nice also to have. I think it's really important to be confident that you have a lot of tools to get out of bad positions, because then you can, when you can get out of bad positions, then you're more free to fuck around and try new shit in the guard. You know, if you feel pretty confident that I can get out of side mount or you know, back mount or mount, you know, all the bad positions you can end up in. If you feel confident you have a good toolbox to get out of it, then it makes it more fun. So unless you know, you might have a good guard, but if the guard gets past you, you're fucked and you're stuck in the rest of the round for 5 minutes. That kind of sucks. So I think defensive is really important, and you know, sometimes you just do situational goals where you're going back to it. But let me first hear from, if I'm in mount here, there's also a big difference between escaping mount where he has his arms to work with, like this. You know, it's easier for him to escape here compared to, let's say I'm like this, you know, here. It's much harder for him to start escaping now because I took, you know, away a lot of his tools like this, or, you know, I might be, you know, like here, I'm pinning this arm here. This is much worse. Or even Gareth was showing where he was, you know, up high with his arms like this. This is also much worse. So most of the escapes now, we're gonna presume we still have some arms to work with. You know, if you get stuck in your other positions, usually you just, first thing is trying to get your arms back. So if Chris got him out on me, first thing we're gonna do is with my arms, we're gonna post, and I have one is on my hip, his hip here, and the other one on top. I'm gonna try to keep my elbow on the inside here. Okay. Now, see this, I'm shrimping up on my side, and then I'm gonna hook this foot and pull it between. Okay. Now I can, even if I'm pushing, it's gonna help. But just like this, if I have some torque in my legs to move it like this too. Of course, he's gonna do different stuff to make it hard for him. But this is just the first move, and we're gonna combine it and start doing other stuff too. So here, one hand across the hip, the other one here. So sometimes he's gonna come up and put pressure on me. If I have this on top, I can, this one is gonna create a frame, you know? And preferably I want this one on the inside. Up on my side, try to hook this leg, And sometimes you can even, I like to go this way, but some guys like to go this too and bring it over. I like to just hook it here, tight, and then torque it and pressure here, get up on my side, and then here out, you know, I'm into my half guard. Okay, so that's the first one. Try to work that one here, frame across, elbow on the inside, shrimp out, hook the leg, get it between your legs, and torque it over while you're pushing it. And then when you're getting half guard, make sure you don't get the head control and underhook the leg, try to keep your arms on the inside. Okay? You have a question for that one? Otherwise, let's give it a go and we're gonna start adding stuff to it. All right? 1, 2, 3. Little thing, if I put my arm across and I usually take, if this is the one on the hip, usually this is the one I'll put to support this one, because some of you guys are going like this, but I feel maybe more weight is coming on this arm, so usually it's this arm supporting the other like this instead of going here. And also I think it's stronger if you're connecting your hands compared to just going like this, you know. But I'd go here. Now next one is and you can kind of mix them together now, you know? And also makes a big difference. Sometimes I can't have room to get this elbow on the inside, but it makes a big difference if I can get this elbow on the inside of his knee, because then I can open it up a little bit. That makes more room to get space here, okay? But let's say I'm pushing off the ground, coming up on my side. I'm trying to hook it here, but he's staying really tight here. I can't catch it really. Okay, so now the same motion we're warming up with, now I'm gonna use my knee and this arm here, I'm gonna push it on the other side like this. Okay, so it's the same motion. Let's do it without a partner. So, same motion when we were doing this. Okay, so, or again, pushing here, trying to get it, but he's really staying tight with his knees and I can't get it, but I have to push my knee. I can't do it with my arm alone, but I have to push my knee up high, and usually I can get some space here to get my knee in. Okay, and sometimes it might still be too tight, and we have to chain them together. But from here, you know, depending on what I do, if I just want to, you know, wrestle up, I can just stiff arm and try to post. Or if you like leg locks, a lot of times you have a good, you know, you have a good entry for a leg lock. You push and get like this, okay, and then from here you have a ton of options too. Okay, thank you. Questions for that one? Let's give it a try. So here, going over, trying to catch it. Now, important that I really try to bring them together, you know, really tight and lift it over as I'm bringing it over this way. Okay, let's go. 1, 2, 3. Some of you guys, when you're doing it, you're going too much to the side. I almost try to bring him over me. Try to make my knee and my elbow meet. And some of you guys are not using this knee enough either. You're trying to power it over like only with my arms. So if I'm not using my, you know, if I'm only using my arms, maybe if I'm a strong guy, I can. Well, I couldn't. But let's say I was a little bit stronger and carry more than heavy, I could do this, but it's a lot more work compared to if I use my knee and just kind of do like a big crunch with my ass. And also helps if I'm coming up to my side like this, I'm trying to catch it, he might be more tight, squeezing his knees together a little bit more. Use my leg, and then but try to roll more over your. This way. Some of you guys bring it too much to the side. Try to make your knee push in, and then just like you're doing like an abdominal crunch at the same time. Okay, let's give it one more try. You can kind of mix them together. Try this one, curl them over, and then use this one to push them. Your knee is pushing them into this frame. And because there's a frame here, and this one is strong, and hopefully you can create enough space where you can squeeze this knee in. Okay? Let's give it a go. 1, 2, 3. I didn't do that there. Sometimes I might do it. Maybe I didn't do it right there. But one thing is, I want to still be. I was just trying to bring him more over, but that was because some of you guys were just trying to put him to the side. I still want to. It's very important to bring him to the side, you know, because this move I can also, you know, if his hips are square over mine, it's hard to get. If I can get his hips out either to this side, you know, with this move, there's space to get in. Or I can also do it. Now we just did the one where we're hooking it, but sometimes I can try to bring him out to this way. If I can get his hips instead of being square over mine, if I can get him out to the side and create a hole, I can get the space to get a knee in. Because sometimes if he's hanging on a little bit more, now I might try here. You know, if I keep going the same direction, it's easier for him to stop me. Okay, so if I'm going here and he's close in, but if I can switch directions, and then that makes it easier for me to get a hole. You know, if I can switch directions between going one way to the other way. Okay, so try. You can also just try now, push and get your, instead of trying to hook it, sometimes I just push it and just, if he stays really heavy on this leg over here, because he's trying to not let me push this, if all his weight comes here, there's less weight on this leg, and that makes it easier for me to push my hip through, okay? And then I can give him space to go here. But if he puts all his weight on this leg, it's harder for me to shrimp out here, but that might make it easier for me to bring this leg over. Okay? So try to mix it together now a little bit. We just get the frame, guy on top, make it a little harder, but don't start face cranking or overhand because that makes it much more different and difficult. Here, we're gonna try to switch sides and go from side to side. So you're moving your hips and trying to get space out of here or over here, or you can catch the leg and bring it over. Okay, try to mix it a little bit more together, and the guy on top, you can give a little bit more resistance, so just completely smash him, but a little bit of resistance, so you have to work a little bit for it, because a lot of times you're not gonna just get the first one. No, you're not just gonna go over here and get out. You're gonna have to be working side to side, and you know, I like this side better. So sometimes, you know, defensive mount, it's even. You know, if it's side mount, you have to be good on both sides. But side mount, you know, some people, if they hear a mount, they're gonna pick up and they, oh, I prefer to go this way. But switch side to side. All right. Questions? Let's go. 1, 2, 3. Try to alternate the guy mount which leg you're being heavy on. So if I'm on top and I'm, you know, sometimes, you know, you want, if he's going out to this side, a lot of times people get really heavy on this leg to make it hard to push, but then that can create a hole over here, okay, to go out this way. And now, of course, I exaggerate a little bit, you know, but and then if he goes here, and then I put all my weight over here and squeeze with this leg, then this leg gets a little bit lighter. You might get the room here, okay? Now, this is a lot of leg lock entries you can use here, but you can also use it without, you know, going for leg locks. Like, I use this in MMA, but in MMA, you have to be really good with leg locks if you want to start going for it, because otherwise you might end up in a position where one guy's, you know, defending his leg and he can punch you in the face at the same time. And then it's more stressful to go for a leg lock. So for I had Jake Shields got me mounted. He's a really good grappler, and for that one I was kind of using a kipping motion. We'll get into that one, but instead a lot of times I bring my knee in because the knee creates a barrier, a frame for him to come back. But instead of going for the leg, if you just want to use a frame like this, stiff arm is much stronger compared to here. But here, if you pressure it, it's gonna, you know, if my arm is stiff, I have much more pressure and just start shrimping. And from here, you know, either get to my feet or I can try to wrestle up on a single leg, you know. So you don't have to go for the leg lock entries. You can just use the knee as a barrier, and then just frame and get up. If I have this frame and he puts weight into me, I can still, you know, or now we're mixing a lot of stuff. Or I can also Sometimes I mix it in and go in half or go under it. But I like to just get a frame, get up to my feet here. And then you goes on again. Okay, but now try when you're on top. Same thing as before, but now try to, like he's going for escape, and I'm gonna put all my weight on this side. I'm exaggerating this side, so it's hard for him, but that leaves him room to get out this way. Okay, next one, I might try the other side, where he's doing that, and then I'll put all my weight and squeeze on this side, but then I gave room for the other one, okay? So you can kind of feel where you can get room, because you never know, never just gonna get the first. You're gonna have to wiggle and move and get them a little off balance. And usually if you get them off balance, they're gonna leave a hole somewhere where you can try to get out, okay? So let's do the same thing again, but guy on top, try to exaggerate a little bit where you're trying to squeeze. All right, let's go. 1, 2, 3. Okay, one more detail. Sometimes if we can get room, some of you guys are forgetting this, but if I can get room to get my this elbow on the inside of the knee, then I can use this to open up also compared to if it's just here. So just turn it. So you guys over here can see it too. I don't even know where the camera went at once. Oh, there you are. So we'll turn around again after. But if I can get this one in, sometimes I can use this to open up here because it's on the inside of the knee. Turn around here. So compared to if I have this one, I can open up on the inside. Okay, so if I can squeeze it in, that makes it I can better open him up. Okay, but we'll do now if he's coming down with the hip. This happens a lot too, because this kind of changed it. Okay, a lot of times if I can put my hips on him here, and I like 2 motions here to get space, because a lot of times people squeeze and it can be really hard to get them off. I like either here, cross my feet and doing a pendulum motion at the same time I keep a frame, or I like to bring him up and kind of kip my hips. So you can try both. I try to usually mix them together, okay? And you can make your partner alternate how tight he's squeezing. So either here, push on the hip, and then swing your legs from side to side as I'm trying to get space. And if I'm swinging and I have this post, and it creates distance. So either that, or again, you come down low, be a little bit more tight here, bring it over, and then I kind of bring him over and try to keep my hips, bring my knee in. Sometimes you only have room for one knee, and you can start going for the other stuff, okay? But just the kipping motion. And once you do the kipping motion, in fact, try to be more tight, more tight. Once you start doing the kipping motion here, you might have to combine it. You know, I started swinging, but now I'm coming out. Now I'm here with shaking my legs. And from here, you know, my stiff arm, maybe just shooting up, try to get on top. But he's getting, a lot of times it works good in combination. It could also be the other way around. Trying to bring him up and trying to kip, but I'm not getting the space. Okay, I start swinging my legs to the side to create distance, okay? But this one you can really make it hard for him to hang on, even if he's squeezing. You can try gradually be tighter and tighter for the guy on top and try to get you off. You can really get a lot of space with it, okay? Question on this one? Well, let's give it a go.
And push while you shake.
Yeah, I try to push and use this motion, so again, okay. So if I'm like some of you guys, you know, if I don't have a strong frame, so obviously here I don't have as much pressure as if I get my elbows under me here, because here this is strong. Here you can put a lot of weight into I can take it, whereas if I'm out here and put it, so I'm gonna try to get my arms on the inside tight, be a little bit more tight here, and then swing my legs, swing. And once I get in here, be careful you're not too, you might crush it with crush it, let it pass right here. So if I get this, once I get my knee out, I'm gonna try to open it out like this. Because here, you can crush it and pass. So here, I'm gonna, then I can go into, I can try to sweep but here it's strong. Okay, let's give it a try. Both the swinging motion and the kipping motion. All right, 1, 2, 3. Be careful with your flaring your elbows out, okay? Because if you flare your elbows too much out, I might push and he might start crawling up his, if his knees get up in my armpits, it sucks for me, okay? So if I'm keeping him in more tight, I'm trying to work away and he tries to bring him up now, and if my elbows are staying tight to my ribs, then it's much harder for him to go up and get this, real estate space up here where he can put me in much more danger. So make sure I'm squeezing my arms tight so they're more, okay. And some of you guys are swinging here and they're like, here, try to get more momentum, okay? You can also cross your feet and then try to really be more tight now. So try to really get more swinging motion. And once I get out, sometimes it's been kipping here. And this can happen too, where he's just really squeezing on my legs. And now, but I still have some kind of space here, okay? And here, even though I'm not out, I might just, frame here because I got distance and work to get my knees out. But try to see if you can get this. And it's important, some of you guys, you get a little momentum going, but then your momentum stop and you break, and then they can kind of get seated again. See if you can keep the momentum going. So one more time. Tight on it. So here, elbows in, be tight, and really try to squeeze my legs, and then not on the on the first one, And now if the gi on, you can grab the pants, and that helps. And because then you have a more solid handle to push, okay? But just really swinging and combining sometimes with this rocking motion too. But I need to have my frames. Some of you guys are taking your frames away. If my frames are away, then I don't have, then it's creating off balance for him, but I'm not using my frames to create a distance between us, So it's always good if he's on top and I can create off balance, because it's going to create openings, and that goes for guard or whatever, If I can off balance him and create openings for sweeps, but I have to keep my frame in between us, because once let's say I get up to my side really much here, then my frame is what's making it hard for him to reestablish. If I take my frame away, then here, and then it's not. So I need to keep my frame in. I need to keep my elbows in so he doesn't just climb up while my elbows are flaring. Now, he climbed up and go up again. They want me here. Now I'm in, in much worse shape than I was before. And now, especially if I start taking my arms, then I can just start climbing and coming back down, get my arms in. I could have this one, and you can combine it with the other ones too, So try to practice this one real quick, and then we're gonna do a little drill after we're down on top. What maybe you guys work with. Just try real quick and make sure you keep your frame strong and keep your elbows in, because some of you guys are flying too much, Elbows tight. T-Rex on up here. All right, let's go. 1, 2, 3. Now try it with your partner where I'm on top here, where I can either be here or I can be here, but I can't use my hands to, this is making it harder because I'm taking some of his tools away, or cross facing or pulling the head or whatever. I like to really try to kill his posture if I'm on top, because it makes his defense harder. Okay? But now I can only use my hands for balance, and he's gonna escape. Okay? And then we're gonna go some really quick, like situational rounds, and then I'm just gonna tell you to switch, and then afterwards we're gonna get a new partner, so we can try to get some different guys. Okay? And if you're stuck, don't worry. It takes time to get good at it, especially with a guy with big, strong legs and hip. You just squeeze him real tight. and then it can be hard to get him off also, you know. So, but give it a go here. At least I'm going to stay on top. He's working to get out. I'm just trying to keep my balance going. I'm going to try to keep my balance a little bit and just squeeze it in. Got it. Okay. And then you can switch it around. I'll tell you to switch it. You know, just not the same guy getting stuck on ball. All right. Let's go with a partner, and then we're gonna switch. You can go with the same partner now. We're gonna switch and try some different guys. All right. Let's go. 1, 2, 3. Okay, time. Bring it in, guys. Let's make a little circle. Okay, good work, guys. I think, you know, it takes, of course, it takes practice, just like everything else. And but I saw a lot of you guys using the escape. We were just drilling, and of course, it's easier now when you get to use your arms and have your arms. You know, if the guy on top is really good at taking your arms away, pinning him, if you like, say you might be a double underhook, you can't use your arms, then you gotta win that battle first, you know. But those are some, and of course, then it starts changing where sometimes, if I'm on top, people start doing, let's say, doing the elbow escape one side, and then people start doing this stuff, you know. Then there's also different things that comes into it, you know. Sometimes here I like to go in both arms under and try to come out the back door. There's different variation. Everything changes depending on, you know, what the guy on top is doing, you know. But I like the one just getting a frame and trying to get him out to one of the sides, you know, with the pendulum or shimmy, or I try to with the frame here, where if you get this frame and catch the legs, so. Those works really well for me, and everything works best in combination, of course. Okay. Do you have questions for it? Then, of course, you gotta shout out or catch me afterwards. But feel free to ask if anyone has any questions. Otherwise, I hope you really, I hope you enjoyed it and have fun and play around with it. And I think the best way to kind of learn it is also just, you know, like we did, go back to the same position, you know. And then do it again, go back to the same position, because then you kind of find out, okay, this didn't work, or this worked, and then I can try it again and pick it up. All right? Thanks for coming in. Let's do a quick pick by the wall.